We've got some great items from Joe Kane on my Facebook Messenger. Let's look this over along with hey, it's 33 seconds. Because you know me and Joe are in the Illuminati. You'd have no idea how suspicious I am of anybody and everybody. Not Joe, of course, but I'm saying like sites I don't know, YouTube sites. Um, anyway, I just work with me on my humor here. Just now getting up. I go to bed when I want, and I wake up when I want. So I went to bed at like, I don't know, around 11 in the morning, noon, something. I don't know. I just kind of roll my days forward about 8 hours a day. So anyway, and I want to show you Lillian's at the new millennium of 1999. I met a girl who sang the blues. I asked her for some. Yeah, literally the day the music died is tied into this. You wouldn't believe it. And she and I are 400,666 days apart. And I met her on New Year's Eve, 1999. And we had the longest relationship I ever had, as long as any of my marriages. So how old was I on that day? I was one of those that 405, 13405. Me and my stepdaughter, yeah. So 121 on the seconds, first three digits. Fused with 214, y'all. 1214. So it's 121 Antichrist. Fused with 214, the deadly wound, 214th verse of Revelation. Wow. Okay. So I met her on this New Year's Eve. Now, this is her number. She's born on, and I'm going to show you her birthday. Just so we're on the up and up here. I can't show you her middle name, and I don't want anybody to like message her. But in order to see somebody's birthday, to get into their personal stuff, you do have to be a friend with them. And that's her. That's Jennifer. And April 15th. Okay, and you'll just have to go with me. She doesn't give her year, but it's 1974. I was 13 years older than she was. Okay. And so if you go 4 times 15 times 1974, number is 11,8, 11,8, 88, 44. And times me, I remember it was 9754. I didn't remember the rest of it. Okay. But let's look at how many days apart we are just to show you it is the 666. It's crazy. So her birthday of April, tax day, 4/15th. And she was the person that I was dating during 9/11 because I met her. Okay, that's right. And I met her at Lillian's. Now think of Lily, New Year's. I met her on New Year's Eve, and think about this Lillian's music store. Do you see the article at the top here? It's called Day the Music Died. Day the Music Died by Aurora Rodriguez. And think about the Dark Knight or the Dark Knight Rises, the Aurora, Colorado. So is this the day he rises? Does he go down the 29th? So everything's in play right now. I don't care if I pick the day. Okay, I had the 28th. Well, it happens 29th. Ah, you didn't get it. I'm just scared about that knock at the door. Hey, it's 1214, 121. Fused with 214, fused with 144,000. The church, which the deadly wound event is all for the church. But yeah, so if you look at this article, well, I'll be doggone messed up. Okay, so let's go back. This is back in 2007. I married Candy in 2007. So this is October 2007 when they shut it down. Lillian's Music Store is a club. but they called it Lillian's Music Store, but it was a dance club. Disco, brick, not disco, but the dance club. And the article says The Day the Music Died by Aurora Rodriguez. And it's at 209 East Main Street. Well, I ate with my stepdaughter last night, right next door to it at 1961. (1961) Lakeland. And if you look at the address, which is at 215, and as you saw, it was 209, they're right next door to each other. And whoops. Uh-oh. Hang on, I messed up. That wants to pop back out. But Lillian's, this is all downtown Lakeland, Florida. That thing keeps popping out, doesn't it? And Lillian's was right here where this Wakulla State Bank is, because it's right there on Main Street, and it was at 209. Well, that says 221. That's not 209. Oh, no, I guess the 209 address has been just shut down because Lillian's. Oh, okay. It was to the, it's okay. Say it's west of 1961. Okay. It's where this Mid-America is, maybe. So, okay, at 209. Gotcha. Because that's 207. So it would be where this Mid-America Bank is. It's this brick building. Oh, that's Lillian's right there. Yes, right there. Anyway, that was a picture of it. So if we were to, that's where I met her. Now it's Day the Music Died. I met her on New Year's Eve, 1999. The new millennium, as they called it. I was high as a kite, too. And she and I, she's born 1974. And she and I are 4,666 days apart. 12 years, 9 months, 9 days. 111,984 hours. There's your 98. 98th verse is White Horse. 666 weeks and 4 days, and 4,666 days. So it's 6,664 with weeks and days, 666 weeks, 4 days apart, and 4,666 days apart. Can you make that up? Can you make that up? And the article where I met her is Day the Music Died, and it was New Year's Eve, and it was called Lillian's. Lillians. What is Lily at iPet Goat? Lily at iPet Goat is New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. This is so nutty. This whole thing is nutty. I can't even believe this. So is it New Year's Eve? When you go 121 to Antichrist, 121 right there of iPet Goat. That's at the 121 mark. If this is all set up by the Lord, then you have to understand a lot of this is just spiritual. The fact that it was called Lillian's, the fact that somebody named Aurora wrote that article, the fact that I met a girl. The Ghost in the Machine doesn't set up me meeting a girl that I dated for 4 years, off and on. Just doesn't. That's the Lord's business. That's the Lord's synchronicity, if you will. His declaring things from before the foundation of the world. That's unbelievable. That's nutty. That's just crazy. It's crazy. It's a nutty buddy candy bar is what it is. Let's get to Joe's. Joe said on December 27th, 2022 is a rather interesting date, probably the most interesting date of the year. It will mark 777 days since the World Trade Center attacks. Well, that ain't New Year's Eve. But does something go down New Year's Eve if it goes down on Tuesday? Till Tuesday, rise on Thor Day. That means I was sure off a day. So then the next thing says from November 3rd, 2014 to Tuesday, the 27th, is 2977 days. Oh, it's 2977 victims. Okay. Got it. It talks about code 201 or something. So the towers became 1.2 becoming 1 is code related to becoming 1. I've told you all about that before. For me, that's number 21. But I guess there's another 201. Okay. Well, a 201 is a 21, isn't it? 12/27, 2022 falls 6 weeks, 6 days before the second of the two great, the X across America. Well, if Trump goes down, but his appearing isn't until that eclipse, that's the year of the dragon. I don't see how any of us would survive World War III. Good grief. You're talking about all through 2023 and then the first third or of 2024? We're going through World War III. They would really have to be turning on and off your electricity. That's just nutty, buddy. That's insane. That's crazy. But that could just be coded. Like he could appear at this coming total solar on Hitler's birthday, but just the fact that it's future coded, you know what I mean? That is remarkable. Quick little restroom break and come back in at 12:27. Yeah, I left at 12:24. You know, I notice stuff like that. I look at number. If you ought to see me going down the road and looking at license tags when I go to Whole Foods in Orlando. That's all I do. It's just, that's not all I do, but you get the idea. Okay. So that's a fascinating day. This why was I into the 28th? Oh, because of my stepdaughter's number. By the way, her boyfriend, birthday, December 27th. He's born 1993. Let's look at his number. 1993 times 12 times 27. Y'all remember the 1227 that was on that car in the movie Charade that I showed y'all? So his number is 64, my third marriage number, third wife number, I mean, 5732. Times her number, 113886. That's who I dined with last night at the 1961, which is the year I was born. And that's me and her mom's number, 455. And that's her mom's first three digits, 552. 53 is my next marriage progression. 73 is a form of it, because remember when I first got married, it was March 12th, 1983, or 71388. So I had the 138 and the 88 on my wedding day. Well, a next progression would be 72, and my third would be 73. Well, if you go three digits, my next progression would be 714. Guess when I married my stepdaughter's mom on July 14th on 714. The perfect progression. And I was her 88. And remember 62848 times 82362, my first wife and me. 518 would be my next marriage if you go out three digits. And stepdaughter 113886 plus her mom 55244 times her brother, who's 2001 February 25th, he's 105. We noticed the 629. Well, my first wife was 628. And when you, so my next wife number out three digits would be 629. And Candy and her kids came to 629. And when you marry the wife, you marry the kids when they're that young. And, but times me, 82362, there's your 518. How crazy is that? So it was all laid out perfectly. And when I met her, you see the 4411, that's when I met her on October 22nd, 2005. And this is just me, her, and her kids combined. It's my second marriage progression out three digits. And that's the day I met her. 4411, watch. October 22nd, 2005. 4411. Nutty. Everything about she and I has been nutty. I've showed y'all that mathematical anomaly. You multiply my number times her number times the year, and it's a rotating number that goes from infinity in both directions. 15 years, two numbers rotate. We've been in this 627, 120, and there's your 27 again. So why wouldn't he go down on the 27th? And look at what's in the year I met her in 2005. Even though the middle numbers, it was the end of the 626, 126 15-year rotation. 27 still in the number, because, you know, it evolves to 627, 127, all 27s. But when I met her, it was a 27. It just wasn't in the middle rotating numbers, and it's 1227. And then the 127 is over there in 2006 with the rotating 626, 126 final year, as if just passed a baton over to the 127, which then was in the number of the year he would go down. Is he going down on the 27th? Which was on that car in the movie Charade? But there's 1227, the year I met her. It's right there in the number. We'll do it for you. 82362 times 55244. Remember, our combined number has the 45 for Trump and then the 500 for Antichrist and Strong's Concordance. Times it by the year. I met her 2005. There's your 1227 right there. So I did it for you in real time. The rotating 626 is just after it. And that's my son's number, 626. He's born 1022, which was the day I met her, when my son turned 2022. When my son turned 22. 10 times 22 times 1983 murder code. My son's number 43626. I have a 36. My son's got a 36. Both in our numbers. It's crazy. So is it going to be is it New Year's? Is it the 27th or is it the 28th? This is my stepdaughter's amount of days old. She'll be 9053 on New Year's Eve. If you go 1.13886, her number, it's got the 138, the 88, and the 86ing of it. 9049. 777's right there. I don't know, 9050. Boy, this thing's touchy. $9051. There's that 3078. Remember, her number divides evenly by 37 to 3078. And that's the hit on the 29th. Is that the rising day? If he goes down the 27th? Oh, wow. Single digit followed by 0. So 7154. 586. Israel's captivity. 586 BC. Because we're the church. There's so much stuff, man. There's so many ways to look at this, and it might not happen at this year at all. It might just be wasting everybody's time. When you look at her number, 113886 divided by 37 is 3078, which was in all my favorite numbers multiplied by each other. 2 times 24 times 27 times 38 times 42 times 45. 3078. And that's her mom's marriage to me, out 3 digits, 872. 871 was the first 3 digits of her mom and dad's combined number. In the whole thing with text to Trump, okay, if I may show you how the whole thing with text to Trump had to do with her mom and I's divorce. Text to Trump is 88-0-22. Well, I'll be doggone. Hang on. Excel's weird. Let's go to the tab that I usually do this in. Text to Trump 88-0-22. So I was her mom's 88. All right. Her dad was 15768, or Candy's first husband, because he was 8-10, 1971. And then her number, October 28th, Gateway Arch Day, 1973. You see how it's 871. Now notice the 873, her third marriage is built into her original marriage number, which is also a 73, which remember was a form of my next progression. 92 is our combined number for the year's first 2 digits starting this year. Remember, it was 92001, 92001. 871. My marriage to her then would out 3 digits is 872, but out 2 digits, I was her 88. Okay, and also her original marriage number, single digit, which does not rotate, is 8. So an 8 next to an 8 is also a way to say 2 marriages. And 888 would be 3 marriages. and Trump's got 89. Donald J. Trump is 1189. So everything seems to be like Candyman. He's Candyman. And I'm Candyman. Again, this all began with Earl, my friend, getting shot by the 22 caliber pistol on May 8th, 1978, heading in at the end of my junior year, right before he graduated. He was a senior. Remember, his cousin has birthday of 11/17. And Earl was killed with a 22. And our divorce was on 22. And the license tag he was arguing over was $638. And my divorce cost $638, which we showed you later on as Eve coding. Because 6 minutes 38 seconds plus 222 is an even 9 minutes. So text to Trump was 88. I sat her down and told her I wanted a divorce on August 2nd, which is your middle three. And then a divorce occurred on Groundhog Day, February 2nd, 2-2. So his whole 88022 is about the divorce, and it's about the year 1988 and the year 2022. Now, if nothing happens in 2022 to Trump, then this really does default to being nothing more than the divorce. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just the plain facts of it. Been trolled our whole life, haven't we? By the way, the tab this is on is 88. Look at the tabs over here, 87, 86. So the 86 tab is the 8/12/2022. Oh, the 28th. Remember, I changed that to a 2. TO2. But if it's the 28th day, 2/8 of the 12th month, remember, that's the one that sets up perfect with my stepdaughter. Because she, who has the number 113886, she's got the 138 for Donald Trump. She's got the 88 for Trump and the 86ing of him. She is 113 days from the total solar. She is 138 days, or the 28th is 113 days from the total solar, and the 28th is 138 days from when Sirius the Dog Star rose, and 2 midpoints of 2 total lunars, 2 total solars. We were the only channel or internet site or anything that told you anything about that. Nobody else had that. You add the 138 days from the total, from Sirius rising and the double midpoints to the 113 days to the total solar. You add them both together, there's your 251 days, because the midpoint day was 251 days in both directions to the total solar eclipses. '27th, there's a lot in the personal. That girl that I dated, my last relationship, where she and I combined our 886, 686, double 68s, 886s, 38 murder code, Porsche 911, Porsche 718. 718 lies in the middle of her number. Her birthday was 1966. On the 12th month, on the 20th day. Porsche 718, Porsche 911, Dark Knight came out on 718, times me. We got 38 murder code. We got 88 being 86th. You got 686, the reversing of it, which would be 2 days later, potentially on the 29th, where I have Lily, I Pet Goat 2, Lily James, the actress, who I started really noticing at the Oscars, and I started watching all of her movies, and I equated that Lily to Lily and I Pet Goat. and her birthday progression pops to what would be the rising day if he goes down on the 27th that Joe Kane was showing us. Hard Candy release date is on the 27th, which was Madonna's CD released while Candy and I were going through it was the beginning of the end that spring. Earl's cousin's Jeff Wright, birthday on 11/17/1959, progresses to the 27th. Everything points to this 27th, 28th. Next up, November 9th, 2016, 6 years, what is 11? It's been 6 years, 6 weeks, 6 days since Trump won the election, because I guess they declared it after midnight. 6/6 to the 27th. I mean, this is some ripe time we're in. There's no doubt about that. And lastly, September. Okay, now I did stop it, so I don't know what's going on. September 1st to December. So September 1st, 1939 is what is that about? (12, 27, 22) also marks 999 months, 27 days after the beginning of World War II, which was September 1st, 1939. 999, 27. Okay. Really appreciate Joe Kane getting this to us. June 24th, 1717 was what? The emblematic date also marks 3666. Remember, 36 is a triangular number of 666. Months and 3 days after the founding of the Grand United Lodge of England. Okay. And that's 366 in 3 days. Well, it would be 366 in 4 days. Remember, the Trump trading card is 668664. Thank you, Joe. That's good stuff. Joe Kane really hitting it out of the park today. Thank you, Joe. Now, Inception and Spectre are both 2/2. There's your 22 again. For the divorce date, 808 in length. That's all text to Trump 88022 scrambled around. But it's also a portion of 1228. 1228 is 1228. It's the number 1. WON 1. Because, you know, you can scramble all that around. Did I get comments from that channel? Commented, oh my, you know, in my opinion, they have video tech which modifies the appearances of characters. We now have filters on our phones that can make us look more attractive. Yeah, good job. Yeah. These guys are so sharp at telling truth 3 also. They really are. Now, Angel White's put up a video, Die Hard 9/11. And that's the AI website that showed me Trump was the Antichrist. And I always felt like you would start seeing videos from them. 19.8K subscribers. So you got your illness number 19, but it's 198, 98th verse of Revelation is White Horse verse. And the name Angel White, you know, White Horse, the angel of the white horse, so to speak. So, yeah. Joe Kane also said Sandy Hook to today, 3666 days. Today, 12 times 24 times 22, 6336. So Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook murder incident date. All right, December 14th, 2012. By the way, that's December 14th. You do see that's 121 Antichrist for the 12 fused with the one on the 14, fused with 214. In other words, if we were to show you the date of Sandy Hook, it's December 14th. "121 Antichrist fused with 214, the 214th verse, or the first time deadly wound is mentioned in Revelation, along with event 201, 12 for the church, which is what the Antichrist is for, the church. It's just crazy, isn't it? So you have to wonder, is the 27th the eve? Does it happen on the 28th? Does it happen on the 29th? Does it happen on the 30th? Tracy McGrady's birthday? The NBA Hall of Famer's dad, who was best man in his wedding, his number divides evenly by 37, and his number is 15688. 9/11 is the 156th prime number. Again, his number is 15688, so it's like his number is saying 9/11/88. His birthday progresses to the 30th, 29th, or 31st if you include both dates. Lily James' birthday goes to the 30th if you include both dates. All of these back up, go ahead a day or back up a day. So this one goes to the 28th if you include both dates. Of my last girlfriend, it was 47. She had the 718, and she and I combined had the 886. Jeff Wright's birthday would progress, his 11/17 birthday progression would go to the 28th if you include both dates. December 14th, 2012. Let's do it up. December 14th, 2012. It's 3666 days on our 28th, which is the one that hits Marissa perfectly. If you include both dates, then it would hit on the 27th. Now, and you look at it, 120, it's 120 months, 14 days. That's 1214 coded again. Antichrist, drop the 0. Good grief. So it literally is the 27th or the 28th is what we're narrowing it down to, isn't it? And I had, where was that car number? In Charade, the car that had the 1127, my all-time favorite movie, had this stuff coded. It had 1227 on the car. 1227 was on the car, and that's at 7-11 or 7-11-17 mark of the movie where I paused it. Like, it broke it down to the milliseconds. It's at the 7-minute 11-second mark. And when I happened to hit the button, it was at 17 milliseconds, like 17 hundredths of a second. And there's 1227 right there on that car in the movie Charade, my all-time favorite movie, which is 153 in length, by the way, 153 fish. The front tag was 4776. It's Eve and Adam coded. Eve is in the spelling of the number 7 and 11. If you multiply 7 and 11, you get 77, and it's 776, and 76 is Adam in Strong's Concordance, New Testament. This lady had 888 on her dress. Oh, good grief. What movie was that? Oh, Power of the Dog. Sirius the Dog Star. I forgot to show that to y'all. It was highlighted as if I never clicked it. Let's get back up to our current stuff. 140 and 141 coded Day of the Dead. Oh, and James Bond. I watched Spectre last night, which is also 22808 in length, as you can see, just as Inception was. And the first time you see him, it's 141. And 140 is actually the first glance. And 140 is the 30th, which would be the rising day if he goes down on the 28th. And he's in his skeleton, but it's Day of the Dead, so he's risen. Because the way the movie opens up, it opens up with a heavy bass drum sound. And it says the dead are alive. So he's alive. That's what Day of the Dead celebration's really about, is that the Antichrist has risen. It's the dead are actually alive. The dead are alive, and it showed him being alive. The first time you saw Bond standing there in a skeleton was 140 mark of the movie. And you see at the middle of I Pet Goat, you have the Day of the Dead blowing a New Year's Eve blower. Oh, wow, it wasn't recording, maybe. I don't know what all I got in, so let's try it again. The dead are alive. So it's the Day of the Dead celebration. And this guy's walking through, and Bond's about to come into your screen on the right. And the first time he pops in, it's at the 45-second mark of this video. 45, he is Mr. 45. But that's what I showed y'all, that he popped in at the 140 of the DVD, of the 4K version. So he's alive. He is a skeleton. He is dead, but yet he is alive. And he proceeds to go up to room number 327. So the exact middle of I Pet Goat's 727 is 343. 343.5 is your midpoint of 727. And you see it is Day of the Dead, which is what Spectre opened up as. But it's a New Year's blower. Day of the Dead does not have blowers. There's no blowers taking place. Now, there's numbers all written in here. Faintly. Like there's an 8. I think that's a 7 or a 2. I don't know. And he does blow at the 343 mark still. It's still 343. This is from their website. 344, 345. Bummed out. Bummed out at New Year's. Not good, right? So it's at the 140 mark where you first see him in 140 days. So does he go down the 28th and rise on the 30th, which is the 140th day from when Sirius the Dog Star rose? Now, I want to do some fuzzy math with you as far as when Sirius the Dog Star would rise. So Sirius rose, and that's her middle name, Rose, stepdaughter. Go figure, the way she's so connected to this. So it's the 12th. It's 138 days, but if you include both dates, she's now 138 days on the 27th, which is also that big number we're looking at. And that's in the heart of our number, 113886. Now, on the rising day, if you go to the 29th, include both dates to the April 20th, Abomination of Desolation, you get your 113. So if he goes down the 27th, it still hits my stepdaughter's number, 113886. You have to include both days, and you have to include the offing day to the rising day. So you're doing some fuzzy math with it to make it work, but it works. Works 1,000%. That means she would be coded with her number 113886 to the offing day to the rising day. Means the rising day is 1229. If he goes down the 27th. What are these on the calendar? Yeah, he would go down until Tuesday and rise on Thor Day, Thursday. If he goes down on Wednesday the 28th, which matches her number to and fro, Sirius to the Abomination, the 113 and the 38, without having to, if it just hits the 86ing date, then I lost my train of thought. Hang on. I forget what I was going to say, so it couldn't have been that important, but no more crying on New Year's Day. Isn't that a song? Like, does that mean he's risen? New Year's Day lyrics, U2. All is quiet on New Year's Day. A world in white gets underway. Oh, yeah, that's the divine feminine. Remember Ariana Grande got as a woman? They were all dressed in white, the women. And then when Trump had his State of the Union right before, in 2020, the women were all dressed in white and they praised those women. They were all high-fiving and clapping. I want to be with you night and day. Nothing changes on New Year's Day. On New Year's Day, I will be with you again. I will be with you again under a blood-red sky. A crowd gathered in black and white. The newspaper says, say it's true, it's true. And we can break through, though torn in two, because World War III would be happening. We can be one, because in their world, you have to have the calamity to have the greatness. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. They create the ashes, and they create, it's an upside down version of our world. The Lord said, we all through much tribulation into the kingdom. So you have to go through your tribulation for his truth. And gold is the reason for the wars we wage. Trump's penthouse of gold. That's funny. Goldfinger. So everything is really, really, really setting up extremely hardcore. Extremely hardcore. And Sandy Hook is a direct hit on the 27th to the deadly wound. And my stepdaughter's boyfriend's birthday is 12/27, and 12/27 was on that car. The little cab that took the lady, Audrey Hepburn, to her place. Man, oh man. So mind-blowing, isn't it? So in Spectra at the 3222 mark, you see the aroma Antichrist 283 to deadly wound. Antichrist to the deadly wound at the 3222 mark. Well, we would be looking for March 22nd if we ever make it that far. All right, so what's going on here? The length of No Time to Die was 2 hours, 43 minutes, 24 seconds. I times that by Trump's number 163464, which is his year times his month times his day. 6 times 14 times 1946. And when you multiply 24324, the length of No Time to Die, times Trump's number, you do get a 83, a 98 for the White Horse, 83 for murder, fused with 336. Well, 336 is 12 times 28. 12 times 28 is 336. Second wife, Candy, times 2022, you get the 1117 deadly wound with the 336. But that's fused with the 68. Which could make you think, well, he's rising on the 28th. He goes down on the 26th. That'd be a Monday. Rising on Dead Souls Day. So there's no absolutes in any of this stuff. I'm just giving you a million ways to look at it. So the trading card was 886 fused with the 64. And don't forget, Trump's number ends in the 64. That's my third wife's number. I'm not even dating anybody. There's no third wife on the horizon. So, but White Horse, Trump, the card number 8864. 886 fused. Teen Wolf is something we need to take a look at, because you got a Wolf full moon coming up, and Mr. Back to the Future is in Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf, Wikipedia. TV series. We want the movie. Okay. So there's one coming out this year on the 26th. Can we get to the other Teen Wolf movie? Also came out in 1985, which was the year Back to the Future came out. August 23rd, 823, 1985. August 23rd, 1985. Hang on. August 23rd, 1985. My Mayday friend is at the 54. Remember, 54 is a big number. Trump was born at 1054, all that kind of stuff. 9/11 occurred on day 254. I will be also on the 54. I'll be 22454 days old on the 27th. But anyway, it was 823. There's your 64 again. which is the last 2 digits of Trump's number, and my third wife number. Now, there's your 37 years, 4 months, 4 days, Earl's number 37044. Look at the seconds. 1178496. That's me times Earl's number 2 times GOD 7154 14308 times that number by me 11784, and it ends in 96, and that's 1178496 seconds to the 27th for Teen Wolf. And the Wolf full moon is January 6th. 37 years, 4 months, 4 days. That's Earl's number. Earl was born IPEC Goat 727. 7 times 27 times 1960. 37044. Teen Wolf. Earl is totally coded there. Remember, Earl died on May 8th, 58. And there's 58 bedrooms in Mar-a-Lago. We don't know why the 58. There's 58 stories at Trump Tower. We don't know why the 58. I think it's all related to Earl's death, which is what kicked off numerically my whole life through to this marriage to, and divorce to Candy, all the way through this salvational process. Told you all that on this channel like a long time ago when I was showing you my personal stuff. The video is called I'm Coming Out of the Closet with Y'all with My Numbers. I got it muted. So I did that video. It's 5251 in length. Look at that, which is my second marriage number, 2-digit progression, and my original 51. 5251. How does that happen? I got 5 thumbs ups on it. That's hilarious. I actually put that in the description, how the 5251 is my first and second. So freaky, so cool. It's weird. So I did this on October 23rd, 2021. Let's look that up right now. October 23rd, 2021. October 23rd, 2021. To today, 428. All the way to New Year's Day, 434, 433 on the 30th. 14 months, 8 days, which is 148 coded for Trump or Donald J. Trump. And my stepdaughter's first, last, and middle initial also. Everything about her. She's born at 808. Everything about her connects to Trump. You run when I put that video up. It's 431. Now, John 12:31, King James Version, Bible Gateway, is New Year's Eve coded in the Bible for us, and it's the first time Satan as the prince of this world is mentioned. And it's mentioned in John 3 times. At 14308 for Earl. Remember? 2 times GOD is 14308. Well, 1430 is the next time Prince of the World is mentioned. And the last time is 1611. Prince of this world. Satan as the prince of this world is mentioned 3 times in John at 12:31. That's New Year's Eve. 1430, 14308, and 1611. One 14308. What's in the heart of 14308? 430. When is 430? 1227 from when I put that video out. 124, 144, 14 months, 4 days. Common year, 11781. I'll put that down in the description. I'm coming out of the closet on y'all with numbers. Watch all the way through to the end and read description. After you're viewing this entire video, please, once I start, be sure to finish, but notice in the length. It shows you who's been driving the bus, the Holy Spirit, my whole life. It's very freaky. And it all begins with that mathematical anomaly, my second wife and I. And then they put out with, Candy Crush was a big thing on Facebook when it began. Candy Crush on Facebook, because the Candy Crush saga, because that's what it is, isn't it? It's a saga. The saga of my second wife and I. Because what does saga mean? Definition of saga: a long story of heroic achievement, especially a medieval prose narrative, Old Norse, a long involved story, account, series of incidents. That's what I've been showing y'all. The Candy Crush saga. So you get the Candyman movies, you got Candyman songs. The AI has been trolling me per the Lord's allowance my whole life. The kid in The Shining looked just like me when I was a kid. And what did they call The Shining? It was like a supernatural connection. And mine's been through numbers. So Teen Wolf, we looked it up. Did we come up with anything on Teen Wolf? I've already forgotten it. There it was. 37 years, 4 months, 4 days. The 117849. Yeah, the Teen Wolf is nuts. And you got the Wolf full moon coming up. Well, the new moon has already begun. Hey, it's 121, y'all. It's going to be the longest video I've ever done in my life. I'm kidding, but it's long. It's too long. MPA for Spectre. 49732. There's your 113. It's 113 days left, remember, to when Sirius the Dog Star rises. Oh, man. Franco Harris to Trump. 1362 days. Day 362 is the 28th of the year. Franco Harris to Donald Trump. They are 1362 days apart. What a fake game that was. I turned it on when I woke up, and the Steelers came back and won at the very end of the game. They hadn't even been in the red zone the whole game. They go, oh, the Steelers are in the red zone for the first time. With like a minute left, they win the game. God, football's so fake. .38 murder code, 3 years, 8 months, 21 days. But it's 1362. And day 362 is the 28th. And that's the end of all of that. So what day do you think it is? If you had to choose between the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th or the 31st. Because if it's the 31st, he rises on the 2nd. And that is a progression. January 2nd is a progression of Trump and I's combined number. He's 163,464. I'm 8.2362. Remember, we got the 322 in the middle. My Mayday friend turned that many days old on March 11th. 33 days later, I turned that many days old on the 10th anniversary of when I quit astrology in the Catholic Church on April 13th. 33 days after that was a total lunar eclipse. So we started tracking every 33 days from the 11th of March, which is 33. Well, January 2nd is our next progression to that, from November 30th to January 2nd. So does he go down on New Year's Eve and rise on January 2nd? Or is all this about other things? Because remember, the midpoint day, and when Sirius rose, nothing happened on the earth that day, except me having extremely heated emails. I've shown you all that. Just the other day, I showed you that. It filled the whole page. The emails did. It was like 15 of them. I was on 3 hours sleep. And who did I go see? On my way that day to see my stepdaughter. Had dinner with her and her boyfriend, who I dined with last night. That evening, on 3 hours sleep, I was overly caffeinated like you would not believe, just to survive. 17 days later, she took her life. They pulled the plug 2 days later on the 31st, but she went down on the 29th. That was totally the Lord handing her over to that spirit world to take her out. And my son's been amazing ever since. It's been rough on him because he loved his wife. And he and I have cried over it many times. It's just, but the reason why it's sad to me is just, you know, she was chosen to be that person. She had no choice in the matter. God's will be done. But the way it upset my son just breaks me into tears. And remember the cat stuck in the car, and I said, that's my son. I knew it. And I went down there. I knew that cat was waiting on me. I came out. Everybody in the condo complex was like trying to get this cat out of my car. Please don't drive your car. Well, I got to go in 2 days. The cat was out. I came back from Tampa. Cat was back in my car, in the engine. And Joe sent us something where a cat was in an engine. Where was that? Or somebody did. It's already, I don't know who sent it. Oh, Catwoman. What does my stepdaughter love? Cats. She showed me through a video from her bedroom in Miami, and they started talking to their cats through the microphone. Central figure in the Batman and the Dark Knight Rises, Catwoman. Can't make it up. Just all the worlds, a stage, and it's the Lord's stage. This is his movie for bringing through his bride. And Trump said, what? I feel like the Bible's like a great movie. Donald Trump says the Bible is like a great movie. Donald Trump and the uses and misuses of the Bible. When he says somebody had to do it, I am the chosen one, he's telling you, I was chosen to be this Antichrist. Somebody had to be the Antichrist. He's telling you. Doesn't say anything about movie. I can't find it. But Angel White has shown it on the YouTube site. I keyed in at Angel White's Trump is like a Trump Bible is like a great movie, because Angel White's got it on their clips, but Gemini Man came up, Trump and assassination came up, how he did it before he did it. Donald Trump dances at church service 6 years ago. These are interesting. I'm gonna have to watch these. Signs of the Antichrist documentary 6 years ago. It's an AI YouTube site that tells you the truth, except about God's word. Pushes John 3:16. You see it at the top. Do you know John 3:16 is an election predestination Bible verse? For God so loved his harmonious arrangement of his sheep that he knew from before the foundation of the world. It's the first definition of cosmos, which where we get our word world from, we use about 3 definitions. In the Greek, they had like 8. And the top definition is what God so loved: appropriate, harmonious, arrangement, order, constitution, government. That's what God so loved. His arranging of his sheep, his arranging of everything, his arrangement. All that believe, remember, believe in faith. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. The word of God is Jesus, and Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the tangible substance of your salvation. It's the evidence of the Holy Spirit. It's not what you say out of your mouth or what you believe in your heart. It's what the Lord pulls you through the calling. When they said, Lord, increase our faith, the apostles said to the Lord, increase our faith, because they knew their faith cannot increase lest it be through the Lord. There's no free will decision to it, is there? No. So that 430 days, (27th or the 28th? 27th or the 28th? I will tell you the 27th is the Till Tuesday. Wednesday is perfect for Dead Souls Day. He's in the ground, so to speak. He rises on Thursday, Thor Day. If not, if he goes down on Wednesday the 28th, then he rises on the only female goddess day of that a day is named after, Frigg, a female goddess, which it is it's the 27th, and it'll be the 27th somewhere in the world and the 28th somewhere else in the world. So it's both. But what day will it be here? I don't know. I don't know. I would guess it would be the 28th here and the 27th in Israel. Or Egypt. Time zone difference between Egypt and Miami. That's 7 hours. Trump can't go down that early. I mean, he's not going to go down at 6 or 7 a.m., is he? If we said Israel, same. So what about Kiev, Ukraine? And you know, we can say New York City. Still 7 hours. Let's go Beijing. You know, what he called the illness? Dana. So that's 13 hours. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. So it could go down here on the 27th, but in Beijing, it would be the 28th. Okay. I guess that's how we have to look at it. Something like that, right? So the 28th, the 27th, our time, 28th, our time. I don't know. I just don't know. What do y'all think? And remember, my divorce day of Groundhog Day was the 33rd day of the year. It's 322 left. If you go 332, Future tense. How many days left in the year? Back to 2009 when it occurred. Future tense, you get 666, 88, 98th verse, the white horse. The only thing left is the 69. You know how long she and I were married? 569 days. 569. If you go to that 2007, married on 7/14, first marriage on 7/13/88, 7/14 of 2007, 007, to the divorce day of January 2nd, 2009. It's 569, 1619, 13656 in the hours, 1819 months and days. If you run it to when I told her I wanted a divorce, it's 80208. That's the text to Trump, 88022. We were talking about. It was 385 days. 1 year, 19 days. That's 119 coded for Donald. Remember, we told you he won the 63. His number is 6 times 14 times 1946. He won the 63 for the 64. WON, my second wife, because my first wife was 62848. Next wife, out 2 digits, would be 63. He wins the 63 for the 64. Is that my wife, the 64, or am I the bride of Christ, the 64? Do you know what I'm saying? In other words, we're all the bride of Christ, but you know what I'm saying? Because he's for the bride, isn't he? That's Trump's job. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to kill them sheep. It's how it's crazy to think about, but that's and the 4 horses is not the sheep killing, unless it's I think it's fused into it at the very end. But World War III is not the Great Trib. I think the Great Trib is fused in with the Pale Horse because right after the Pale Horse Bible verse, you get to the souls of them that were killed during the Great Tribulation. So it skips this wide gap. It skips over the abomination of desolation tremendously, like radically skips over that. 4th seal, pale horse, named the son of death and followed him, and power to give it unto him. 4th part of the earth to kill. So it's 2 billion, because we're at 8 billion right now. Kill with a sword and with hunger, which are the 2 previous horses, with death and the beast, and with the beast of the earth. And then you get to the 5th seal, and it's already the souls of them which were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. I think you're already you're already into the Great Trib. So from verse 8 to verse 9, you have skipped over the abomination of desolation. That's given to you, in other parts of the Bible, but not. That's why it's like all over the place. It's scattered, which I have to look at IPEC Goat the same way. I don't look at IPEC Goat as being anything in order either. It's the same story told over and over in waves. The book of Revelation is. And then, the white robes in verse 11, and you're at the 6th seal, and then you're at the wrath of God. Boom. So what a nutshell. Everything told in a nutshell in Revelation 6. The Revelation 13 details The abomination of desolation. Where it says they were also killed with the beasts of the earth. Do spirits get into animals? Do the fallen angels enter into animals also to kill at the abomination of desolation? And with the beast of the earth. If we go to 6:8, and you're going to look up that word beasts. An animal, a wild animal, wild beast, metaphor, brutal, bestian man. Okay. So man is included in that. A bestial man. Okay. So it's not talking about animals. Man has become a beast, a savage, a brutal metaphor. Could be. And again, animals could be involved. So all right, love y'all very much.